So, April, we've all been looking for data to try and understand what is clearly a very close election. And I love what you've been doing, which is going through the data on television rankings and what you found between Donald Trump's rankings and Kamala Harris's rankings. So explain that a little bit. I think it's super interesting. And given what you found, and that Trump has just announced he's going to go on a podcast like Joe Rogan, which is the biggest audience in the States, do you think it would be a good idea for her to do more of that kind of thing, and that show in particular?
Well, the way I understand it, they're still going to be doing more interviews, but we put so much emphasis as a nation on polls. But there are other pillars and other signals that are undervalued, particularly, as you were just saying, these metrics from some of these interviews last week or the week before that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump did. Now, the way we look at it, we got all the numbers from the Fox News interview with Brett there. And that same day, Donald Trump did an interview, a town hall with Harris Faulkner. He received 3.1 million viewers. Now, according to Nielsen and according to other ratings, she received at least 7 million viewers from that interview alone. Now, let's go to The View. The View on October 8th, spoke to Harris. They received their highest numbers in 3.5 years for that one interview. And then let's go to Charlamagne tha God. The numbers are still coming in. When he did that town hall with her in Detroit, focusing in on Black America, those numbers are still coming in. 35 billion and counting. That's last night that I got those numbers, not 30.6 billion, but 35 billion and counting. Donald Trump's numbers are not coming close to that. And I'm still going back to that Fox interview. He received 3.1 million views versus her 7.1 million views. Okay, that's a big difference. That's at least twice the size. People are tuning in. Why? Maybe to learn more about her, or maybe because she's more serious, or just trying to find out her policy versus his. But that's the big question. Why are people tuning in and his numbers not as strong as hers?
So, April, let's talk. There's been a lot of focus in recent days for the Harris team, including with Liz Cheney the other day, to reach out to Republicans, to say, like, look, this is a sliver of the electorate that we can try to woo over to our side. And some Democrats have wondered, well, are they doing that at expense at reaching out to the base as well? This is going to be a turnout election. Are they doing enough to drive out voters of color, young voters, progressive voters, those from the cities? What may have it be? From the reporting that you're doing, because I know you stay in touch with a lot of those groups, what do you think? Is the Harris team doing enough to bring the base out?
Well, it's not just Harris, the Harris team, but the surrogates as well. And you have to remember, Jonathan, right now, I'm really hearing a lot more from white women than I heard from white women during Obama's run, as well as Hillary Clinton's run. So going to this Republican women's group, or women's groups, if you will. Let's say Nikki Haley, that Donald Trump is not really attacked. She finds a way in to pull in women, particularly white women, who are on the fence as Donald Trump worries about their body parts, worries about IVF and calling himself the king when he's not the king of IVF. So she has got a chance there. And then she's got other surrogates going after the young people who may be sitting out, have voter apathy, or may consider Donald Trump in some instances. But nonetheless, she still has the larger Black vote than Donald Trump has.